This is the Twins POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Minnesota Twins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on back in the lab? Back at it. Another Twins postcast right here. Locked On Sports Minnesota Network, your team every day. Twins take down Game 2 versus the Phillies. More fantastic starting pitching, this time by Mick Able tonight. A 9K day, plus Byron Buxton. This dude's not human right now. Final score tonight, 5 rip. Got your full deep dive coming up right now. Thanks for tuning in. You got me, Luke Inman, at Luke_Spinman. Sweet Lou Hennessy. Give him a follow on X, at Sweet Lou MN, Twins expert over at Zone Coverage MN. And as always, can't say it enough, go check out our guy Brandon Warren. All the daily Twins content you can handle over on Locked On Twins podcast each and every day. All right, Lou, so 5 rip, that's your final, 70 and 91 now on the year. Lots to get into. I feel like we got to spend a healthy amount of time on Mick Able's 9K night tonight. Byron Buxton, again, continues his relentless tear. Another home run tonight, career high. Plus, we got our nerdy stat and game MVP. Let's just jump right into the biggest turning point, though, from tonight.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, Twins are up 3-0 in the 7th, which is good for most teams. But, with the Twins bullpen, even 3 doesn't feel safe sometimes. But in comes Fitzgerald. He homers. He makes it 4 rip. And then Austin Martin scores on a Ryan Jeffers double. That made it 5 rip in the 7th. But you tell me, walk us through it. What did you think was the biggest turning point from tonight? When was it and why?
I mean, if we knew that we were getting this version of Mick Able, I think the turning point has to be the very first at-bat of the game when Byron Buxton goes yard.
Might be.
I think you're not wrong in saying that later in the game, boosting it up to a 4-5 run lead, that's a really big turning point, and it ended up being a good get for the Minnesota Twins tonight. It looked like a different version than we've seen over the last few, 6 months.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I feel like I keep coming on here and saying it. Now, the last couple games, it's been Theo up here, but now you enter stage left. Deja vu, because like 4 out of the last 5 games I've came on here and talked about the starting pitching. I feel like that's what we'll be talking about. First, it was Zebby, then Taj Bradley, 9 Ks, Bailey Ober, 6 shutout innings. Now tonight, it's Mick Able, 6 scoreless innings, 9 Ks. What we should be talking about is where all this pitching is coming from all of a sudden right at the end of the year. But what did you love about Mick Able tonight? What was kind of really working with his stuff so well tonight?
Kind of a grudge match for him, the team that drafted him. He was a super highly touted prospect coming out of the amateur draft. I think going into that year, he was looking like possibly a first round, first pick. He had that much praise. Yeah. He ended up slipping a little bit, but he's been a top 100 prospect for the last few years. So for him to go back to Philly in a building that was absolutely filled to the brim with crazy Philly fans, that was huge for him to go out and to shove, and like the rest of the guys in this rotation, to end on a high note. I think their last time through the rotation here, the last week, the starting pitchers for the Twins have totaled 30 innings pitched and just 4 earned runs allowed. That's an ERA of like 1.2. So that is fantastic, and that's everybody ending the year on a high note. It kind of reminded me of back in 2016. There was also kind of a lost season for the Twins, but Jose Barrios made his debut, and he got kind of shelled a little bit. I think he ended the year with an ERA in the 6s, but you're like, okay, he's still our top prospect, and we're just gonna have high hopes for him. Now it kind of feels like the Twins have maybe 3 or 4 guys that could kind of maybe fit that bill of they didn't have the greatest year this year, but you're going into next year with high hopes of them as high-end pitching prospects.
You mentioned the outstanding ERA from the starting pitching, but the back end too. Like that is by far the biggest Achilles heel of the entire roster of the entire team. But tonight, once again, Funderburk and 3 innings. Yeah, thank you. Yep. 3 innings, 4 Ks, no earned runs. But it's been like that consistently the last week. And I asked Theo, you get towards the end of the year here, and you got some rosters and lineups that it's like, I don't even know half these guys here, right? We only got 3-4 games left. But the Phillies, man, they're second in the NL right now.
Yeah.
You tell me. I mean, was that lineup kind of their bread and butter, so to speak? Were they letting off the gas at all? Because I got to assume they're probably playing for a seeding scenario or situation with Milwaukee, I don't know, whoever it may be.
Yep. Yeah. So they still had a lot of their regulars in there. Kyle
Yeah.
Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos. These are guys that are going to be playing every single playoff game. So it's good for the Twins to that they didn't just roll over and they weren't. It was kind of iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? So it was still a good get. The Phillies are still definitely trying. So really, really encouraging from the Twins pitching staff to shut down such a lethal lineup.
Was there a favorite at bat or sequence or inning out there from Mick Able tonight that really made you step back and go, man, he's cooking tonight, or yeah, I see the high ceiling. I see why the guy was a highly touted dude coming out of high school and college as that first round kind of mocked pitcher. Was there something that really stuck out tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was really encouraging that his first 4 strikeouts all finished on different pitches. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, his slider was cooking tonight and the Phillies were fishing for it. No, he had 4 different pitches that were really working for him. And that's huge. I think the struggles that we've seen from Mick Able have been mostly kind of mechanical stuff when his body's kind of out of whack. But his raw stuff is there. You can see, it's just he misfires on these fastballs and everything else is playing off of that. Tonight it was cooking. So we saw the upside. We saw the reason that the Twins thought so highly of him to trade Joan Duran for him. So really cool to see that all his stuff was cooking tonight.
Who and I'm trying to keep it obviously game centric, but from what you saw tonight from the young man, who do you have more confidence in, or who can you confidently say has a higher ceiling when you look at these 5, 6, maybe even 7 young arms in the Twins rotation right now?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm a big Zebby fan. He's had a really up and down, especially the last couple months. I think just from a body standpoint and a physicality standpoint and a tool standpoint, Zebby is the one that I'm the most excited for. But then I can also hear the argument for guys like Mick Able, who are still kind of that prospect age, or Taj Bradley, who has just recently graduated from that, top prospect pedigree. But yeah, for me, it's Zebby, but it's a good problem to have when you can talk yourself into 3 different options there.
No doubt about it. Austin Martin continues his little mini heater, I guess I'll call it as well. 2 for 3 tonight. Had a walk, had a scored run. Glue guy, man. Glue guy. They can't all be, all-star caliber dudes. Glue guy for me, a former top 5 overall pick. Speaking of, Mick Able was, a highly touted dude. It was top 5 overall pick from that Jose Barrios trade years back. Been hurt, but when healthy, it feels like, and given, consistent opportunities, kind of like we saw tonight, another nice young spark plug again tonight back there who I just like watching him. Adds a little bit of juice, a little bit of energy into the lineup, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that this lineup has been missing, and a guy that just gets on base a lot. You can still knock him on maybe his shorter power numbers, but that's okay because they have other guys that's going to be their calling card. So to have Austin Martin near the top of the lineup, getting on base, I also can't say enough about the defensive strides that he's made, especially in left field. He made an awesome catch at the wall tonight. I was worried he got a little shaken up by it, but he looked to be okay. He's made a few just really, really awesome catches. He's got the speed for sure. It's always just been a matter of how good of a jump he can get and just kind of the mental game that he plays with himself. So it's been really cool to see him over the last couple months making the most of this opportunity. I think he's going to be penciled into a spot, maybe a platoon role in the lineup next year.
Boy, talking about the young arms in the pitching pool there, Keyshaw, Austin Martin, it's just a lot of young and that's what you should have. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised really, right? After the fire sale at the trade deadline, you should be coming away with some young core nucleus guys that hopefully, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 can develop and progress and turn into somebody that you can build around for sure. Don't go anywhere. Biggest pros, biggest cons, plus our game MVP tonight as well. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by FanDuel. FanDuel, the NFL season's here. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer. Check this out right now, new customers. You bet $5. If your bet wins, you're getting $300 in bonus apps guaranteed. Why I love FanDuel. They got everything, player props, same game parlay, jumping in live as the action unfolds, my favorite. You name it, they got it. So quick, so easy. And the best way to add a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more excitement to your Sundays. Are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app at FanDuel.com today to get started. That's FanDuel.com. You're getting $300 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. All right, biggest pros, biggest cons tonight. Let's just start with what we loved. I'll kick it off with Byron Buxton again, man. This dude in the past 4 games has hit a home run in the first at-bat of 3 of these games. I mean, that's just insane. Talking about just being a veteran and just starting the game on a high note for your entire team, for the entire clubhouse. Ending the year on a high note probably doesn't even do it justice. But 35 home runs now on the year, that's a career high. 83 RBIs, also a career high. What are you seeing from him? Not just like this season, but like when you watch him tonight, for example, what's just working so well? What makes Byron Buxton right now?
Yeah, I had a piece for Zone Coverage a couple weeks ago just talking about the big differences that we've seen from both the Twins and from Byron Buxton over the last 2 years. If you think about the end of the season in 2023, the Twins were kind of on top of the world, ending that playoff losing streak. Byron Buxton, however, had kind of a lost season that year. He played, he was virtually a designated hitter for the 80 games that he was healthy enough to play. So they kind of flip-flop. Now he's having a career year. The Twins are kind of on the downturn, obviously. So, but some of the improvements that Byron has made over the last 2 years go with he's been absolutely lethal against left-handed pitching. That's an area where you got to think a right-handed hitter should eat. That's something that he didn't do in his career until just the last few seasons. So Byron Buxton made huge strides hitting against left-handed pitching. He's also just got a much better approach at the plate. You can tell that he's not going up there hacking at everything. Okay, the strikeouts are going to be there every once in a while, but it's nowhere near the problem that it was earlier on in his career when he had more of a boomer bust approach.
Yeah, well said there for sure. Great breakdown. Was there a con tonight? Can you get nitpicky? Rocco report, maybe a move or decision by Rocco. Anything tonight that you just kind of grinded your gears, I guess?
Sure. Yeah, nothing on the Rocco report. I guess if there's anything that I'm really hoping to see, or that I have been really hoping to see in the last few weeks here, is Royce Lewis and Brooks Lee kind of proving that they're building block pieces. Yeah. I'm not sure if they've proven it enough this last month. I think that they're going to be relied on next year, but I was hoping to see their OPS up near the 700, 710, even if they were just able to fight and claw their way up to league average. I would have taken that over the last couple months here. We've seen flashes of it. We've not seen the consistency that many Twins fans were hoping for. So I was hoping to see that tonight, but we didn't really get to.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right. Make it official. Your game MVP from tonight's 5-rip victory. Who was it and why?
Got to go with Big Mick. He had a fantastic game, really good for him. He's going to go home in the off season. He's going to go home to Oregon and do some more training. Good for him to get his first win as a Twin. That's just a star caliber performance from somebody who the Twins are going to hope can be a star for years to come. And just real quick before we move on, I got to give a quick shout out to Mr. Luke Inman for getting through an entire season of Twins breakdowns after let's be honest, a really difficult season. It's been really fun for Twins fans to be able to have the opportunity to break every game down, and we thank you for it.
Oh man, you're the man. You're making me blush. I'm only as good as my co-host, though. You know that. I love teeing you guys up, and Sweet Lou, you're one of the best in the biz, man. Hope we get you back next year. Last one. Can we end for old time's sake? Right, our staple nerdy stat of the day. Do you have any crazy stat? Any fun analytic Twins related tonight?
Yes, we do. So coming into tonight's game, before Mick Able had this incredible performance, Twins starting pitchers over the last 2 weeks, they held their opponents to an OPS of just 296 when they got to 2 strikes. That's best in baseball by almost 200 points. So really, really encouraging from the rotation over the last 2 weeks. Mick Able continue that trend tonight. Let's hope they continue it into 2026, baby.
Great stuff. Per usual, Sweet Lou, you're the man. 5-rip was the final tonight, 70-91, with 1 game left in 2025. Go check out all of Lou's work. Give him a follow on X, @SweetLouMN, plus all the work he's always putting up over at ZoneCoverageMN.com as well. Got to say it one more time. Go check out our guy, Brandon Warren, as well. All the daily Twins content you can handle over on Locked On Twins podcast each and every day. Luke Inman, @Luke_Spinman. Again, last game of 2025. That takes place tomorrow, 2:05 first pitch. Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound. We'll catch you right here. Same time, same place. Until then, give it to me, Lou. Signing out.
Signing off.